I'm wafting. Can you tell what I'm wafting?
Oregano.
Yeah. Oregano. This is a powerful oil, and this is one that you want to waft at a distance. Don't just stick it right in front of your nose, because it is intense and it is amazing. And we have talked in our other oil spotlight Ylang Ylang videos about oils and how if you're not using it, you can find it in these great blends, like we were talking about marjoram, and how it's already in all these blends. This oil is not in a lot of doTERRA, actually it's not in any of doTERRA's blends. Oregano comes in a lot of the beginner kits, and it's probably the last one that people think about. They're like, okay, oregano, spaghetti sauce, I don't know what to do with that, so they leave it sitting on the shelf. Well, we are going to tell you today in our We Seek Summits video, moving through the oils one by one, why you want and you need this oregano oil, you need this single oil. So to start off, although I've already started, so to continue, it comes from Greek, the name is Greek, it means joy of the mountains. Most of the world's oregano though comes from Turkey, so doTERRA sources it from Turkey and from Kenya as well because it does really well there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this oil is like a sniper. It's a sniper oil in that like when you use this oil, it's because you're targeting something. Like there is a specific reason, you know, this
The Chris Kyle oil. Okay.
And that bullet, that sniper bullet, is a little constituent called carbachol, and it is a phenol. Mm-hmm. So a phenol is a organic chemical structure where you have an alcohol group, so an oxygen and a hydrogen, attached to a 6-membered ring that are alternating single and double bonds. Okay. Now, this is the benzene ring, but it's not the benzene molecule because you have these functional groups hanging off of it. And this structure is actually really common in essential oils. It's kind of like, I've heard it described as it's like a blank key. So we talk about how essential oils can kind of have this lock and key relationship in our body where the essential oil is the key and it unlocks some pathway within our body and triggers something. This structure is like a super common key. So it's like a base house key, you know, and you can cut it all different ways. And one way you can make it is this carbachol molecule. And it is, because it has an alcohol group, this benzene ring, and it's a phenol functional group, it is really powerful. It has a lot of electron density to it, and so it makes it really reactive. So much so that, you know, you call oregano like a hot oil. Yeah. You know, if you just put this directly on your skin, you know, don't do that. It can actually have a caustic effect and locally sensitize that area. And so you want to dilute this, first and foremost, whether you're using it topically, even internally, and like Jesse said, waft from a distance. Waft from a distance. Because this sucker is powerful. And that's because, like I said, it's a 75% plus phenols. Now we also have a little bit of monoterpene and sesquiterpene, esters, ketones, you know, all that good stuff in there. But it is carbachol that is the prize here. Yeah. Now why? Okay, so tell us about carbachol. So there is a concept within essential oil organic chemistry called PMS. It's called PMS. PMS. The P stands for phenols. PMS. Oh, different PMS. Phenols. You can also hear KMS or AMS, and so it's phenols, ketones, and alcohols. Okay. So these are all oxygenated species, and when you think of organic chemistry, you think, okay, these are going to be reactive molecules. Okay. And what they do is they cleanse in the body. They're very cleansing. So whether that's receptor sites, whether that's surfaces in your home, you know, high pKa oils are going to be extremely cleansing. Okay, so the phenols cleansing. Kill stuff. Just think cleansing. Snipers. Okay, and then what's the MS part? So M are the monoterpenes, which we talk about a lot. You know, a lot of oils have very high monoterpene content. And monoterpenes, they awaken and they correct signaling pathways in the body. And we're talking about cells. Cells, yeah, they really help cells like reawaken and correct things that have gone awry. And then the sesquiterpenes, they remove and they restore. So if you got anything kind of funky going on with that cell, they're going to help it kind of reset. It's like when your Windows computer, messes up, you got to hit that reset button. Get the bad data
Delete
out of
bad
there.
data.
That's what the sesquiterpenes in. So some oils come naturally balanced in PMS. There's kind of this nice balance that our body likes. So we were just talking about majoram. Majoram is actually a very PMS balanced oil.
Okay.
In that it's about 30 to 50% either phenols, ketones, or alcohols, 30 to 50% monoterpenes, and about 10-20% sesquiterpenes. Like, that is a very balanced oil. Your body can get a lot of benefit from that. Okay. Going back to the sniper that I was talking about, if you want to skew the PMS one way or another to do something, this is where oregano comes in. So I got this oil that is super high and really potent phenols, and so when I want to cleanse, grab it. Or
clove, and I think you said cinnamon are also really high phenol content. Clove we talked about as being really high in terms of the repairing oxidative stress and antioxidants. So oregano is another one that's amazing that way. Cleansing stuff. This is a great house cleaner one. I know we say this a lot. Oregano, because it's so great at cleansing by itself, when we make all of our cleaners, we do half white vinegar and half water, and then like lemon and eucalyptus or melaleuca, or we kind of mix it up. Rosemary, I change up. If you didn't want to use the white vinegar because it's not always great on granite surfaces, you could use just water and oregano. Give it a real good shake and spray and kind of a leave on the surface. Other cleansing ways, any not so pleasant thing on the skin. It is really great, and there are a ton of studies on oregano, and there are a bunch on the doTERRA website too, talking about healthy skin inflammation response, or the inflammatory response, healthy skin cellular regeneration. Again, and we really want to emphasize this, it is a very hot oil. Dilute it, and if you're not so comfortable with like the amount, start with a larger amount of the carrier oil. You could even start with like a tablespoon of carrier oil and 1 drop of oregano, and then go from there. Yeah. But you definitely want to use, like, I don't know, at least a teaspoon to start of carrier oil with 1 drop of oregano, and then see how you feel.
And this is one you can cook with too, right?
Yes.
We said it's from the herb, right?
Yeah.
And we all cook with this herb.
That's the first thing you think of, right? Spaghetti sauce. So definitely cooking. And even if you can take this one internally and you want to do it in a veggie capsule, highly recommend doing it like with food, or some people like to top off their veggie capsule with a little bit of carrier oil. I find that kind of hard to do, and it can get a little bit messy, and then oregano gets on the outside of the capsule, and then you're tasting the oregano, and it's not pleasant. However, you can also gargle with it. And my friend, who's a singer and actress, a performer, she will gargle with it before performances, or obviously if you have irritation that you're wanting to use. But for cooking, yes. So this is, think Greek oregano, so obviously great with Greek dishes, great with Italian dishes, but also kind of think Latin. So we use Mexican oregano a lot in cooking, and they are different species. The Mexican oregano is in the verbena family. However, they're similar enough in properties that since we don't yet have a Mexican oregano oil, you could use the Greek oregano as well. So kind of think like Mexican dishes, South American, Latin dishes, and there are plenty of recipes for that. You could even go simple. Since we stopped doing bread, we can't do like lovely little olive oil dips with our bread, but that would be a great way, is add a drop of oregano to like a little seasoned dish of olive oil and dip in bread. Yeah. Okay, that was cooking stuff.
What else?
Yes.
So just to go back, oregano is phenomenal for immune support. Again, it's very cleansing, and usually when you want immune support, you want a cleansing oil. And so while it's not in any of the blends, it is in doTERRA's On Guard soft gels.
Yeah.
So they added a few more oils to this for the soft gels, and oregano is in there because not only do you get the great immune support, oregano is actually really good digestive support.
Yes.
Which I found a little surprising. There was a study Was that on the?
It was on the doTERRA website, talking about specifically for intestinal morphology and intestinal support. And we hear a lot about the leaky gut issues that are going on, and oregano will help counter that. It helps strengthen the intestinal wall. Also, the little villi in
those little things.
Yeah, in the small intestine that help absorb nutrients. It's basically like lots of surface area. The studies showed that oregano will help those grow and extend. So again, you're absorbing more nutrients. Hang on, let me say one more thing about it. We have heard things about, well, oregano is such a high phenol content. Is it safe to take every day? Again, because we're so high phenols, and that sniper concept is, it's not one that I take like in a veggie capsule internally every day. It doesn't do harm, but it's not necessary. You kind of want to use it, but because of the right dosage, I take the On Guard soft gels every day. I take one daily because I want to keep my immune system strong and healthy and going. I want that cellular support. I want that digestive support. I want the respiratory support. The list goes on and on and on of all the support I want. So I take one daily and then up the use when something comes, and then I'll work the oregano in for that. But again, tell you about the use, it is also in GX Assist.
GX Assist. Now this is one that's more like a temporary protocol, right?
Yes. So it is designed as a healthy cleanse and a healthy gut restoration, because the truth is our guts are just bombarded all the time, not just from the things we eat, but the things we absorb and breathe in the world that we live in. So it is good to do a healthy detox cleanse support. Your body's already detoxing all the time anyway. So this is support, and it was designed as a 10-day protocol. It's not going to be a major flush of everything. Like, you're going to be able to leave the house. It'll be good. But oregano is a part of that. Again, it's healthy gut restoration. So you can take 1 or 2 soft gels a day. I like to start with the first 5 days, 1 soft gel a day, and then 2 a day the other 5 days. Then what you would do is add in the PD Assist and add back in the Terrazyme to the Lifelong Vitality Pack and continue to go from there. And you could do this like quarterly, or definitely after the holidays, or you could even do it up to as often as monthly, like do a monthly 10-day support, just depending on your gut needs.
Awesome.
Okay, we've talked about internal cleansing and support. Oh, talk about the Melaleuca and oregano, or tea tree and oregano.
Yeah, so they're a really powerful combo. So when bacteria grows, right, it produces what we call biofilm. It's kind of this slimy, nasty stuff. We make kombucha, and the SCOBY is a mixture of bacteria and yeast, and it kind of makes these mats,
slimy.
And it can get slimy, and it's biofilm. And then so when you have this bacteria in there in the biofilm, it's hard to get to. Like, it's a very protective.
It's self-preservation.
It's how it makes these colonies. So we'll get there, but when we talk about tea tree or Melaleuca, it's very effective at kind of dispersing and breaking down the biofilm. Well, then oregano has some phenomenal properties on foreign cells.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, again, this sniper. It's able to penetrate the protection and then allow your body to deal with it.
Yeah.
And so, whether it's your skin, it's in your digestive tract, or anywhere else, when you have little things being caused by those bad dudes, oregano is a great option, great support to help with that.
And the Modern Essentials book is one of the ones that we use, and there are some really amazing things that it talks about in there. There are also a lot of studies that it references. We are not allowed to share those. However, if you want more details on the specific bad bugs that oregano helps with, at the bottom of the description section of every video is a link to a Google form to fill out to send us, and we'll contact you personally. And what we can do is we can scan this in and send it to you to talk about all the bad bugs that oregano helps
Get rid of.
Fight support.
Okay.
Also, talking about pairing. So again, that tea tree and oregano are a really powerful pairing. Oregano and peppermint also work synergistically with one another, and we talked about that a little bit before, how oils enhance one another And so peppermint is a really powerful combo with oregano as well.
Yeah, especially I'm guessing for like digestive support, because peppermint's
And
really
respiratory
awesome.
support as well. That would be one. So oregano, we don't often put it in the diffuser, but again, when I'm wanting it, I'll put it in there kind of with like an herb blend, you know, mix it with some thyme. If you're wanting to mellow it out a little bit, you could do like some cedar wood and some lavender, but it's also one that you could do if you're wanting to, that respiratory support, do your steam tent. You know, get a towel and a bowl of warm water and put a drop of oregano. Now, obviously, don't get too close, because again, it will kind of sting the eyes, and we don't want too close, but you can kind of find that distance and for that healthy respiratory support.
Or do the shower technique.
Or do the shower technique.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put a drop in the bottom of your shower and let that steam bring it to you.
I almost forgot the emotional benefits.
All right, well, let's close with that. Let's talk about the oil of humility.
Yes. As I was reading this, and I think if we had like a personality test for oils, I think this would be Dominic's personality. It's really interesting. So it's the oil of humility and non-attachment. So when we talked about neroli last week, we said that neroli will help to strengthen healthy relationships and long-term relationships and help to continue to build that bond. Well, oregano is sort of the opposite. Oregano will help you distance yourself from toxic relationships. So again, think cleansing. So oregano, cleansing relationships. If we're in a situation or a job that we know is toxic, we know is causing us mental and spiritual harm, but you have a hard time like leaving it, or you know, a person who's maybe not healthy for you, oregano will help you to kind of cut through the fluff. This is the part that's the Dominic personality. Cut through the fluff. It also helps cut through some strongholds that other people might have, or some strong-willed issues, and kind of cut through and get to the root of that. So it'll help you distance yourself from toxic things, but kind of zoom in on what's important.
So snipe it.
Yeah.
It is. It's the oil of sniping. Anyways.
Yeah. The oil of sniping.
Now you'll remember it, and you'll know when you targeted approach, use some oregano.
Yeah.
All right, so that was hopefully really helpful for you guys.
Dominic was talking about like how much should I describe with the PMS and why that is. So basically, if you have any questions or clarification, please leave us a comment, or like I said, fill out that form. We love hearing your ideas as always and your suggestions, but otherwise we're going to continue moving on to patchouli. Yeah, patchouli's next.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks.